There's a funny little thing going on, which I want to tell you about, and it has nothing to do with Donald Trump's diet. It's that in American politics, there are lots of formalities that sort of don't really matter. So I'll give you an example. Did the losing presidential candidate concede? Because if they conceded, it's over. But if they didn't concede, they could still challenge the results. Oh, wait a second. No, the concession is merely symbolic. It's a formality. It doesn't really make any practical difference. I could give you many other of those examples. We have upcoming the yearly State of the Union address. And as I've mentioned before, when the President of the United States goes to the House of Representatives to give their State of the Union address, we've mentioned before that the Speaker of the House invites the President to come to the House chamber to brief the House and Senate about the state of the United States of America. It's normally a formality. Yes, an invitation letter is sent, and then the President shows up as expected. But we're quickly learning it's not just a formality, because if the Speaker doesn't invite the President or rescinds an invitation, the President can't just show up and give a speech. Right now, we find ourselves in a situation where government is shut down. Nancy Pelosi is the new Speaker of the House now that Democrats have been sworn in and have taken control in that chamber. And she's uninvited Trump from giving the State of the Union address via a letter that she sent yesterday. The formal reason she cites in the letter, which we're showing our television and video audience, the formal reason is that we've got a government shutdown going on. There are security concerns for having the president in the House chamber. You can sort of read between the lines if you want, and I think that that's exactly as designed. Right now, the State of the Union is scheduled for January 29, and Nancy Pelosi is suggesting or deciding that it will be postponed to another, quote, suitable date, or for Trump to just send a letter to deliver the entire speech in writing. This is a nice little strategic move because the State of the Union speech would be used by Trump to propagandize about the border wall and about the so-called immigration crisis. And you might say, hold on, but David, every State of the Union is a political speech where the president is going to evangelize for what they want to see done. Yes, that's true. But we know that in this particular case, Stephen Miller and other advisors have been working on Trump's speech. There is every plan to have it be a cry, basically a build the wall rally of sorts. And Nancy Pelosi is saying the government shut down. You're not going to do it. And this is not without precedent. This isn't something Nancy Pelosi came up with herself out of thin air on a whim. The State of the Union has never been delivered during a government shutdown. Previously, it would frequently be delivered in writing. That's not really unique, novel, or new in any way. But on paper, the security explanation is completely defensible, even if we do read through it as a political thing. The Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen said that the State of the Union address is a national special security event, an NSSE, and that NSSEs require the full resources of the federal government. Right now, we're in a partial government shutdown. We don't have the full resources of the federal government. Secret Service, which implements security for NSSEs and DHS, haven't been funded for now something like 4 weeks. And what I really like about this, Pat, is that it's hitting Trump where it hurts, not letting him talk to cameras, which he loves, not allowing him to go in there and have everybody cheer for him, which he loves. There are lots of Trumpists who just have no idea what's going on. And they say, well, Trump's entitled to give the speech and Nancy Pelosi can't do this. No, this is by invitation. Trump can submit his speech in writing. He can request a later date. But Nancy Pelosi is not asking here. Nancy Pelosi is telling, and that's it.
Yeah, the Constitution mandates that the president keep Congress up to date on what's going on in the country from time to time. It doesn't say that it has to be every year. And I think this is definitely a politically savvy move on the part of Nancy Pelosi because, as you pointed out, there are times during the speech where both chambers, both parties are cheering the president, and that's definitely going to make him look good, which Democrats certainly don't want. And then, of course, corporate media is going to go on and on about how the president gave such a great speech, and that could up his approval rating, get people to side with him on the government shutdown. It would not be good for the Democratic Party.
Well, let's talk about the Pelosi part, because there are emails that I'm starting to get and tweets that I'm starting to see saying Pelosi's bungling it. She's going too hard against Trump with the shutdown and the State of the Union and all of this stuff. For everybody who thinks Nancy Pelosi is messing up with how she's behaved since she became Speaker of the House, you are very, very wrong. Nancy Pelosi's approval is going up the more she opposes Trump, particularly on the shutdown and on border wall funding, the more her approval goes up. She's doing the right thing here. She's not letting the petulant child Donald Trump get away with his antics. I've never been a massive Nancy Pelosi fan on policy. I'm to her left and feel she's too conservative on many issues, but she's not caving and giving Republicans and Trump what they want, and people are reacting to it positively. So you can argue you think that these are long-term strategic mistakes or that they are sort of debasing and coarsening the politics of the United States. You could make all those cases if you want, although I would respond and say that Donald Trump's been doing the exact same thing. But to argue that, at least in the short term, these are good decisions by Nancy Pelosi goes directly counter to the approval numbers that we're seeing. If I'm missing something about it, let me know. The David Pakman Show is on Instagram at David Pakman Show. Make sure that you follow us there for, what do we have there? Behind the scenes pictures, polls. I sometimes will answer questions from viewers on the Instagram account, David Pakman Show. We have pictures of Pat's Pat Cave at the studio, which a lot of people like, and it also helps to ensure Pat's safety. He's not just in a pitch black room surrounded by equipment. Lots of cool stuff on the David Pakman Show Instagram at David Pakman Show. And while you're there, follow me. I'm on Instagram at david.pakman. One of today's sponsors is privacy.com/Pakman. This is a free service that I've actually been using myself for a while now, and I love it. You just take a few seconds to link your debit card or bank account to privacy.com's mobile app or browser extension for Firefox and Chrome. And what that does is allow you to instantly create virtual credit cards that are linked to your bank account so that you're not actually putting your real debit card number on the internet. And you use these virtual credit card numbers to buy things online. And with one click of a button, you have the ability to create multiple virtual cards, delete cards, freeze and unfreeze cards. You can put a limit on a card so a company won't be able to charge you more than you actually want them to. And it protects you from being hacked. It protects you from companies being hacked, which we've been talking about for a while on the program. And it's perfect for signing up for free trials somewhere if you don't want your real credit card number to be exposed and on file. And their app and browser extension let you autofill the virtual credit card number into the credit card field when you're buying things online. There are a ton of different advantages to shopping and paying bills with a system like this. Everything is totally secure and encrypted. And in some situations, you can earn 5% cash back on your purchases. It's all completely free. All you have to do is click the link under this video to get started. And for a limited time, everybody in our audience who signs up gets $5 towards your first purchase when you sign up using that link below.